Loving you is more than just... See, now it says excellent connection. I don't understand how this works. Alright, so apparently we're live now. Apparently it is live. I'm glad here. Glad to be here. Even though I was talking for a minute or two and no one was here. It was just me. And it was sad times. I was a very sad person with sad individual sadness. And I don't like being sad, if you understand what I'm saying. What's going on, Lisa Garrison? Lisa back in the house. Always a pleasure to see the Lisa Garrison back in the house. We got Mark Felipe. So let's talk about some stuff. So apparently, Star Wars has changed the Slave One name. Disney drops Slave One name in favor of Boba Fett's Starship. Now, I talked about this because I did an earlier live stream for just you folks, because I know you love it. I did an earlier live stream, and I really agree with Eckhart's Ladder, if you haven't seen it. I think that he has where it's at. But let's read about this a little bit. Let's go to IGN.com. As you guys know, IGN is the best place to go for all of your news. This by one Jesse Shadeen. Even years after George Lucas sold the Star Wars franchise to Disney, new changes continue to be made to the original trilogy. The latest tweak, Boba Fett's ship is apparently no longer called Slave One. Star Wars fans noticed the change thanks to the announcement of a new Mandalorian-themed Lego set featuring the iconic vehicle. Rather than calling it Slave One, the set is simply named Boba Fett's Starship. And like I see it here, but I don't see the name. Jedi News spoke with LEGO designers Jens Kronvold Fredrickson and Michael Lee Stockwell, who confirmed the change was requested directly by Disney. Based on his comments, it would seem Disney is uncomfortable with the term slave being associated with one of the most popular Star Wars characters. Though Boba Fett has traditionally been portrayed as a villain in the franchise, his more heroic turn in The Mandalorian, Season 2, may have something to do with this change. We'll have to see whether or not the ship's name comes up in the spin-off series, The Book of Boba Fett. So there's a couple of things to really go over when it comes to this, to really discuss. And the first thing is that it may not actually, the name may not have actually changed. In the it would be Involuntary Worker 1, first off, sir. But the name within canon itself may not have exactly changed, because when you think about it, can you show me in the movies, and maybe, I don't even remember The Mandalorian having it, but in the movies, where it says Slave One, bonus points. Do you know who is going to want to buy beyond the just absolute rabid EU Extended Universe fans of this stuff? That's right. Kids who have watched The Mandalorian, kids who have watched the original shows, and kids who love Legos. And they'll have parents who don't know the history behind it. So when they're selling the toys, they're just going to call it Boba Fett's Starship, even though in canon, the EU, it'll still be Slave One. And is that I don't see that as necessarily a bad thing. The kids don't care, says Brett R. Couple of things to that. First off, Everything we do and everything we portray to kids does impact them for when they become adults. So it's worth taking a look at, because even if they don't care, the brains do. Not that I think Slave 1 is going to have a necessarily negative impact. But secondly, you know who will care? Dem parents. Dem parents. It's only Slave 1 if you do the extended universe. It's not exactly Slave 1 if you don't really look into it. It is literally Boba's starship. You wouldn't know what to call it. So, and then when you add to that you just don't want to have to deal with it, because you'll just make more money by calling it a starship than Slave 1 and just leave it in there, I don't really see. I really wish you guys could look in the mirror and like physically say, like while looking in the mirror, physically say that they changed the name from Slave 1 to Starship to Boba Fett's Starship only in the only on the toys, as far as we can tell, but day by day, inch by inch, Disney is becoming the ultimate evil media empire. Because they just stopped putting Slave 1 on a toy. Like, I don't even think that's an inch. I honestly think that Eckhart's Ladder, this is not the problem with the woke agenda. I don't really think. I don't. And the Clone Wars would be, I would say, well, yeah, I'd consider them more extended universe. Well, they're not extended universe. Ancillary is what I would consider them. Mom said growing up she never would have thought Disney would be a bad word. Well, it's not a bad word right now, so I'm not sure why your mom said that. Woke agendas don't exist. It's just called being polite. Can't say I agree with that. I think you can have quote-unquote woke agendas. I just don't think this is one of them. We've seen this coming with Star Wars for years. We knew for years that they'd be changing Slave 1 to Boba Fett's Starship. We knew that. Hey, babe. I'm live. What's up?
I know. Just wanted to see who you were talking to. And then
just different peoples. People's getting a little bit sensitive because someone changed the name of a ship. Yep. I love you. This is an interesting thought about the name of not changing. A few people have said they couldn't come up with something more creative. They don't need to create something if nothing changes. I'm not... Okay. So, like, is Little Annie free in the new Disney TPM Special Edition? I don't understand. I don't understand how that comes... I don't... What? So, they have slavery in there, so they can't call it Slave 1? Do you guys know that I have a cloud sword, which is really cool? It's actually right next to my bed that's unmade. That's disheveled. Not sure why my bed's disheveled. I need to fix that. Man, I'm like 107% sure the micro machine I had as a kid was called Slave 1 on the packaging. Okay. Honestly, again, I think that it's people are making a big deal out of it. It really doesn't change beyond on the packaging. They're doing it so that they don't have to deal with the outrage, and it's still called Slave 1 in canon. I don't really see. They still make the money. You still get Slave 1. Why are people upset about this? It is literally not that big of a deal. It's not a name change. First off, there's no evidence of that. So, Deej Odyssey, we'll get rid of that. It's each step Disney does changing things. Each little thing adds up. Okay, Deej, can you tell me all of the changes that have occurred that are adding up? I'd be curious on that. What are all of the changes that have occurred? Just go list them out. List the first 10. Disney has been having such a big deal. Anyone who is not Deej Odyssey that starts naming stuff will get the comment removed and a time. All right, you guys should be able to hear me now. At least so it says. I don't know if you can or not. It says excellent connection, but is it an excellent connection? That is the question. Can you hear me now? It's a time. It's buffering hard. It's interesting because all of this is. Everything's running good on my side. Is it still buffering? You guys should be able to hear me now. At least so it says. I don't know if it's live or not. Okay, we're back. We're back. We'll do it live. So no, you know, first off, someone said they said it. Someone said that they said it in the Clone Wars. I'm not convinced that they said it in the Clone Wars, but even though it's only ever been mentioned once, people, even though it's only ever been mentioned once, it's the exact same as Nazi propaganda officers coming in to change the language. They're coming to change the language. They're coming to take your kids, and it's horrible. And now it says it's having issues again. I don't know why. But it's kids, and it seems to be doing well, but it says it's having an issue. I don't understand. I don't get it. Thank you, Rock Solid. I appreciate it. It's not a super weird flex. It's not even brand recognition. I would guarantee that probably the people I don't know. I don't see it. But I would guarantee that the people who are buying it, a good chunk of them, probably don't even realize or care that it's Slave One. Especially if it's Legos. You know? I don't know. Lag free. Nope, buffer time is thankfully gone. I am live. I'm glad I'm live because I'm doing it live. Kind of like how my sword right next to me is right next to my bed, which for some reason is disheveled as if actions occurred there. So it's a name change or a marketing change. It's a marketing issue. I think it's fine. It's an actual name change, not so much. That's my point. We have no reason to think that the Slave One is actually being changed. They're just changing it on Legos, something that is for kids, bought by parents. Especially bought by, not only bought by Karens, not only bought by parents, but likely bought by a lot of, wait for it, and I hate this term, Karens. So instead of just having to deal with all of that mess, they're just like, no, we're not even going to do it. Yeah, that would be marketing, Sam. That would be a marketing change. That's what that is. Now it's just so they don't have to write slave on toy package. That's a, wait for it, marketing change. Well, Disney isn't really the one changing the language here. That's a different political conversation. Wasn't there someone that was going to give me the 10 things that changed? Who was that, by the way? How do we know it's the same ship? Maybe this current ship gets destroyed and he just buys another one. And he couldn't name it the Slave 2 because, you know, 1 is the loneliest number, so they can't do it. 2 is the loneliest number. It's worse than 1. I don't know. I think Eckhart's does it a lot more eloquently than me, but I would definitely check that out. Here's what would be interesting. If 2 things happen. First, if they actually went back and they redubbed it in the Clone Wars, if it actually was said in the Clone Wars, I've watched Clone Wars multiple times. I don't ever remember it being called that. And 2, in the Clone Wars animation. And 2, if in future games or future books they actually change it to Boba Fett ship. It's no longer the Slave One in canon. I really honestly think this is a nothing burger. But, again, this is, as people have said, guys, this is tantamount to propaganda officers coming in and changing the language. This is really important, guys. This is big as a Nazi SS officer walking in and saying, "You cannot call it the Slave One." That's my German accent. Get over it. It now must be Boba Fett's ship. This is important, guys. This is like drastically important. Because now they're changing the language, and the next thing you know, we're going to be shooting Republicans in the street. I mean, can't you see the writing on the wall? It's as bad as Battlestar Galactica's not Battlestar Galactica, I'm sorry, wow. Babylon 5's propaganda officer. It's just as bad. It's horrible. But the fire spray is supposed to be a super rare stolen ship, so if you get another one, I'd have more of a problem with them doing what's it called. It's so bad. It's out of control. The next thing you know, it's not going to be Han Solo. It's going to be Han prefers to be by himself, and that's his choice. And that's what we're going to have to start calling him. Wait, we're not supposed to shoot Republicans in the street? That's a problem. That's called murder. And it's not going to be Luke and Leia Skywalker. Well, it's not Luke and Leia Skywalker. It's not going to be Luke Skywalker. It's going to be Luke travels across. It's going to be Luke Sky travels across the universe, but maybe he's walking or maybe he's not. Maybe he's in a wheelchair. Don't want to be ableist. So, again, Luke, Sky, he may be walking, but he doesn't have to. He can be in a wheelchair. That's his choice. Non-ableist. And that's actually going to be on the packaging. They changed it. It's all downhill from here, folks. It's all down here. We cannot have an ableist name like Skywalker. Like Skywalker, right? I mean, look at Rise of Skywalker is the most ableist thing I've ever heard. Not everyone can walk across skies. Yeah. Slave One is a name. Boba Fett's ship is a description. Okay. President Clark is behind the name change. Called it. Nailed it. President Clark, evil bad guy. Han introverted. Yeah, it's not Han Solo. It's Han introverted. Disney is not the mainstream media, not in the case, and not an extreme measure. I blame George Washington, you know? I blame George Washington as well. Fact, he owned slaves. Maybe. I don't know. Did George Washington own slaves? Let's find out together. Did George Washington own slaves? Washington was willed 10 slaves. And he purchased at least 8 more. Huh. I didn't know that. Well, that got dark. Sky Traveler. Luke Sky Traveler. Please don't shoot me. I won't shoot you. So it's what we need to do. But I mean, you know, skin is still ableist. I mean, there are some people who don't have skin. Especially if it's a third world country that goes to war with the United States. Oh my God, that's awful. Why would I even make that joke? Jesus Christ, no wonder they hate me on Twitter. I felt bad saying that. I'm going to have to delete this. You know, the lag doesn't happen when I need it to happen. It's not the Death Star anymore. It's the passed away quakes. I like that. We should just rename all of Star Wars. This is a lot more fun than talking about the actual controversy. The Forever Sleep Station. The Forever Not Nice Sleep Station. The Not Nice Forever Sleep Station. Oh, Lord. Well, as long as you set them free, I guess it's fine for doing it in the future. Are you guys that far behind? Wow. Hit the live button. Yeah, it's not slave one. It's a prisoner with a job. Oh man. Anyway, can we get off of me talking about the horrors that the United States may or may not have done? Lore reloaded sounds too... Yeah, reloaded, you know, because you reload guns. Lore discussion. Lore further discussion needed. So you 2 live streams in one day. You feeling all right, Jay? I am trying to make that paper, Maisie. That's what I am trying to do. I'm trying to keep people happy. We need to start a GoFundMe for Lore so we can buy the rights to Star Wars. That seems likely. That seems like that's going to happen. Oh, we're back to that conversation. Love to see a Hirogen go after a Predator. So apparently, Kurtzman does. So I saw one of the most ridiculous... things Kurtzman's ever said before. Kurtzman apparently does want to do a... musical for Star Trek. But before we get into that, I got a squirrel again. Look, as long as Dash Rindar's Outrider isn't affected by the changes, I'm fine. Excuse me. Outrider? What about those who ride in? Huh? What about that? What about in-riders? And you're assuming people can ride. Not everyone has legs. Not everyone can ride. Can you ride without legs? I assume you can ride. Not everyone has a bottom section, I'm sure. Okay? Because some in Star Wars don't even have bottom sections, like the bottom half. Yeah. So we can't have rider at all. And it can't be an innie or an outie either. That's just offensive. How do you defeat the boss on screen? Super chats. Donations, and sponsors. And if you actually defeat the super chat, you get... your name goes up there. People are getting mad over nothing. Dude, welcome. Welcome. Well, here's the thing, though. We don't know that it is... we don't know that the name Slave 1 has been changed. There's no evidence that they actually changed it in canon. It's a marketing thing. It's alright animated. Lore further discussion needed. It does. Lore don't want to discuss it. Lore I don't know how you do reload without it not being offensive. I think we just need to wait this out to see if they changed or done something to make more money. It's all fiction. None of it matters. It does. See, here's an interesting thing, though. That's not exactly true. I think that becoming films, animations, even entire universes can be a reflection on humanity. They can inform us. They can tell us things about ourselves. They can help us move on through what honestly is a meaningless existence, right? It's a form of art, and that's what art is. And so it just because it's fictional doesn't mean it doesn't have worth or value. Doesn't mean it's not something that is worth fighting for. It's just like this is not that big. That's fantastic, Daniel, that you're a writer and a director. I'm not sure how that impacts anything I just said. What food would I try if I had a replicator? I'd probably try all of the foods, all the good ones. Fire spray? Yeah, I didn't know it was a fire spray class. I mean, most all of that isn't in any of the canon. What's with the red, yellow, blue color flag in the background of your live stream thumbnail? It's a pretty flag that's representative of pride, I guess. Lore cocked and locked. I think they'd have more issues with that. Oh, you're currently making a movie, so you get what you're talking. What movie are you making, Daniel? I thought you were saying, well, I'm a director, so I think I'm right and you're wrong. What movie are you making, or what kind? Is it a feature? I bet it's a feature. Prodigy looks like it will appeal to kids. Something I think Star Trek needs to do more of. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Prodigy. I'd love to take my kids to see Star Trek. You currently can't. They can't watch Discovery. It's not appropriate. Can't watch Picard. It's not appropriate. And Lore Reloaded is definitively not appropriate. Who's Michael Clark Duncan? Am I gonna be insulted when I look up that person? Michael Clark Duncan. Oh, yeah, I think that's a good representation of me. Like, if someone wanted to do the story of my life, I would require them to use that actor. It's the only way I'll sign it off. Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool, Daniel. That sounds fun. What film school are you with? Fire Spray may be canon, but Lucasfilm has been borrowing a lot from Beta Canon and the old EU. I don't know if it's Beta Canon or not, but apparently he's dead. I just found out. I guess that would make a problem with him working as an actor for me. How'd he die? Because I didn't know the name, but I knew that actor. He died of old age. Haha. Let's see. How did Michael Clark Duncan die? Duncan died of complications from a heart attack that he had suffered 2 months prior. So, like, are you calling me fat, or do you just want me to be played by a black guy? Because I don't understand what the joke is. I'm trying to understand. You're going deeper than I. What's the lore here? What's the mythos? Walk me through it. Also, that Foundation show is interesting from Apple TV Plus, but that's Star Trek or Star Wars, but it is sci-fi. Yeah, that was the one that was mentioned to me, right? I got it put in the queue. If dead people can vote, they can still act. It's true. It's true. Or maybe he doesn't understand. Maybe my lighting is so bad that you can't tell my race. They've been selling. Stop getting all my information from Doom. That's the only way I can get my information is from Doomcock. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm also working on a script for a steampunk Roman Empire movie. That could be interesting. The joke is that you're being played by a big, muscular black guy when I'm not. Well, what part of me are you referencing? Is it the fact that I'm not big enough for you? Because trust me, I have had that complaint. Is it that I'm not... What was the other thing? Hold on. Muscular enough for you? Again, the complaint has been had. Is my skin color not that of which you prefer? Because that has been said too. People complain about me a lot. I get that a lot. Okay, so Daniel, you can't eat pizza and watch me at the same time? That's kind of weird. Just get a Bowflex? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a Bowflex. Y'all need to refresh, because actually the orange shirt is kind of making your face look orange. Well, yeah, maybe I'm orange. I mean, you know, Trump is like the best president that ever. That's all I'm trying to say. Why are you saying sorry, Daniel? No, you can eat pizza and watch me at the same time. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I think the Slave One thing is a nothing burger right now. We need to see. If they changed it to Boba Fett, and so I'll even say this. I'll go this far. If they even change it in canon to Boba Fett's ship, that's concerning, but I don't think I don't think it's the end of the world. It would need to be connected with everything else. I don't know. I would call that concerning, though. I would say that that's political correctness. That is, if you want to call it woke, I would say that's woke. Morning Raging Havoc. Lore's being racist. He says a black guy can't play him. I said a black guy can play me. In fact, the only way that you're going to get the rights to my story is to have a black guy play me. Prodigy looks fun, and it's very tied to Legacy Trek. There's literally a sequel episode to the TNG episode, The Outrageous Okana, coming with the original actor voicing the character. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Didn't they change Boba Fett's race during the prequels? Did they? What does woke even mean? So woke, or woke scolding, as it's called by those who are of the liberal persuasion, is a move on the a movement, or at least an ideology, that is very toxic, that is very far left, where it takes reasonable ideas or reasonable conversations at a minimum, and it goes too far with it. No, you can't be racist against white people. That's science fact. They didn't change his race. It was never established. Oh, okay. It's funny because wokeness has moved so bad that even leftists have named it. They've called it woke scolding. It's one of the craziest things. I think my favorite quote around wokeness is "Get woke, go broke." Yeah, except for that, it's not true. But yeah, that is clever. Yeah, they've technically changed his race. A white guy was in the suit. I see. What's up, LDG? I don't think I don't really buy that. Just because the actor in the suit was of a certain race or whatever doesn't actually mean the character was. It just means someone you can't see was in the suit. It's the same. Like, for instance, if you're going to say that, does that mean that R2D2 was human? Or that C3PO, they're human? Was there a guy in C3PO? I don't know, but does that mean R2D2 was human? And probably a white male too? Because he was inside of that? Is that what you're trying to say? Because if our lad Boba Fett is human, then our lad R2D2 has to be human as well. No, they didn't screw the guy. He was not ever meant to be white. There's no evidence of that. I disagree with that. Interesting, Lucas intended Boba Fett to be a throwaway character and never meant to be this popular. Yeah, it's usually how it happens. When they edit Leela's bikini scene out of Return of the Jedi because it degrades women, then it's all over. Well, they stopped selling that outfit, which I thought was a very bad thing to do, because I'm all about sexy time in that outfit, and I would be glad to give Disney my money for that. I'm wearing the outfit, of course, as you know. Vader was a white guy with a black... Yeah, that's true too, isn't it? He had his voice dubbed. You know what they were doing? Oh my god, I can't even believe it. Thank you, Maisie. Thank you, guys. I want to welcome you to my Fandom Menace channel. Welcome to Lore Reloaded of the Fandom Menace. Can you believe what they were doing? When was Vader's first? Darth Vader... character creation? When did he first come up? Hold on. Originally conceived the Sith Emperor. Hold on, wait for a second. Wait for it. This is going to be great. You're going to love it. Guys, I am so mad. In 1977, oh my God, I cannot believe this. 1977, the woke agenda is alive. You know what they were making them do? I can't even believe this. Listen to this. And I heard this from my friends at Reddit. They have a guy, a white guy in a suit, and he was talking and they dubbed it over with an African American. They are trying to overwrite white characters. They are trying to destroy them. Darth Vader was originally a white guy in a suit, and they put an African American's voice over it, and they are trying to destroy it. Why can't they just let characters be? Why do we have to change them? I want to thank you so much. Don't forget to hit that like button and do those super chats and make sure that I get a ton of money, because I can't even believe this. And guess what? You know what? If we keep letting this happen, you know what's probably going to happen? I'll bet you money. You know that Boba Fett that everybody likes, played by a white guy as well, bet like in 20 years or however long it is, they're going to rewrite it so that guy isn't even white because you don't see him. They're trying to remove it, people. Welcome to my Fandom Menace channel. Yeah. That is exactly the type of argumentation they use today, by the way. I'm not even... He got banned from all Star Wars stuff? Did he really? I didn't know that. What did he do? Probably. Well, you don't know. You're just saying he probably did. It's pretty cringe. I agree. Now, people that just joined out of context, no idea what's going on. Queensland got put into a 3-day lockdown. Why? Because the UK doesn't like allowing its citizens to have rights. Okay. Look, I'm all right with... homosexuality. Just don't rewrite old stuff into it. Here's my thing with it. I think that it does a disservice to everyone. I don't think you need to rewrite... Oh, well, Australia is basically UK. I don't think you need to rewrite characters into something they're not. I think you just need to make some... I think you just need to make original characters that rock. Well, in California, a typical teen, it didn't work. Tennessee had a lot more lax laws, and it was never as bad as California. Just saying. In future edits of the original trilogy, they redubbed Fett's original voice with Django's. Well, that makes sense. Why you got to do us Aussies like that? We are way cooler than the British. I mean, Australia is a part of the oppressed People's Club, isn't it? It's still a part of the, what's it called? Because Canada, I think, Commonwealth? The oppressed People's Club? Hold up, what's that about the UK? Them Aussies make good bar staff? That's about it. That's racist. I don't know. You lost to birds. What the hell are birds? What birds are you talking about? The Commonwealth? How many Aussies does it take to screw in a light bulb? 3. 1 to hold the light bulb, 1 to hold the bulb, and 2 to turn the ladder. What do you call an Aussie in the finals of the World Cup? A referee. What do you call... Let's see. What's the difference between Cinderella and the Melbourne football team? Cinderella wanted to get to the ball. See, the thing is, they don't actually make original characters anymore. It's all remakes. Commonwealth of Nations, is that what it is? What do you call an Aussie with 100 girlfriends? A farmer. I don't know why I've decided to pick on Australia today. Really love my content? Well, my content loves you, Pimpin' Ain't No Dead. That's a horrible name. But it still loves you. It loves you for who you are. Not the... It loves you for the content of your character, not your name. What's the deal with the PM in New South Wales being corrupt? I got no idea. Is a remake to someone who has never seen the original? You know, that's... I know you're making a joke, but that is honestly... I never watched the original Battlestar Galactica. I only watched it after watching the remake. For me, Battlestar Galactica Reimagined is the original. And I actually like that a lot more than the original. If someone wants to visit a good spot within 2 hours of Melbourne, tell them to go to St. Kilda Ve Punt Road. Ah. Want to hear a joke about the construction industry in Australia? Too bad they're still working on it. Yeah, we were talking about that beforehand, Lisa, that they are putting a musical short trek together. I think it's silly, but, you know, honestly, people who are against it or who are like, this is not Trek, I honestly feel like they don't understand the original point of Trek. Trek was, Trek is about trying new things. Oh, Nova Snowball. Someone is going to take clips of the stream to show what a bad person, Lord. Dude, what they do on Twitter, one of the reasons why I don't actually actively engage Twitter anymore. What they do on Twitter is they literally say that I am a homophobe, that I am a Nazi, and that I'm a bigot. And they say that there are videos and there are posts that I have done that I've taken down. There is no evidence. There has never been anything ever presented. They just say it and they believe it. They don't need clips, my lad, because no one cares. In fact, they even say on Twitter that because X Twitter handle doesn't like you, I'm going to unfollow you. I honestly have very little respect for Trek Twitter leftists. What if an alternate universe, a monarchist is elected president, the U.S. joins the British Commonwealth with the Queen Elizabeth II becomes the Queen of America? Well, first off, the president doesn't have the power to sign us into another country. That would most likely be be Congress, if not all of the states or a majority of the states having to agree with it. But yeah. What's a bogan? I saw the live-action remake of Aladdin. I loved it. I wasn't a huge fan. The only reason I didn't come back. The only reason I reactivated my account is because someone was trying to claim it. They have the documents, the receipts, son. It would have been interesting if he tried to stay in power. I don't think that it would have lasted, though. I've seen those posts on Twitter. It's disgusting, says Ted Kroger's. Yeah, I mean, if they want to prove it or they want to put it out, if I've ever actually done something, I'd actually do a live stream. We would discuss it on this live stream and go through it. And if I feel like I needed to apologize, I would. I have yet to see any evidence. I've only ever seen people say, well, he's had it, but he's deleted it or whatever. By the way, No video I have ever done is deleted. They might be unlisted. No, okay, absolutely not. They might be unlisted, but I have never deleted videos. So if they have one they want to bring up, let's bring it up. No, Twitter leftists are not worse than Twitter rightists by any stretch of the imagination. Now we're talking about Twitter specifically. At least Twitter in the Trek sphere. I would almost argue all of Twitter, but at least Twitter in the Trek sphere, there's no way. The left of the fandom menace? You mean the we are Trek, we are Star Trek, we are Starfleet. We are Starfleet is who it is. Yeah. I don't like the fandom menace, just to be clear. I don't get why people call other political side racist. Like, that's now how it works, mate. That's not how it works, I guess, is what you're trying to say. If you can call them all something and you can hate them all, then you don't have to actually deal with nuance. What is a bogan? You guys have not answered that. I misread the argument. What'd you say? You know what's worse than Twittist leftists? Twitter rightists. No, I think I read it right. How did I misunderstand? Speaking of the leftist Twitter, do you ever listen to Jesse Gender and Council of Geeks? What the Frau podcast? I have not. I really like Jessie Gender. I think she's awesome. She's like the Twitter leftist done right. I know of Council of Geeks. I've actually interacted with Council of Geeks. I was going to do some stuff with them. I haven't watched them recently. Has it gotten bad? Bogan is a country bumpkin. Oh. Pete and Maisie, what are you guys arguing about? I miss Katwowski too. Though I talk to him on the phone ever so often. What's the last thing a bogan says before they pass away? Hey, watch this. I don't know what bogans are. I'm just reading like funny jokes about Australians. Car loving, low income beer guts. Gotcha. I listen to a bit of Joe Rogan because he's funny, and Knowles because I agree with him on stuff. Oh. Do I think that gay relationships in Discovery was written to prevent any complaint that they were not woke? No, I don't. I think it was written for representation. I think it was written to normalize. I think season 1 was done really well, though a lot of people disagree with me on that. One of the few things done really well. And I think season 2, their relationship was just like top notch. I literally think Stamets and the Doctor are probably one of the best, if not the best, Star Trek relationship. I really, really do. In my book, it's okay to kiss anyone you love in public, and it is cute. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you guys are arguing. I'd have to say I agree with Maisie for the most part. I don't care who you're kissing. So, I mean, just kiss, like, whoever or whatever you want. It's like, whatever. No Vogan is the guy who does SCP videos. Okay. My daughter's pretty big into SCP. She created some stuff for it. Stamets is one of the best characters New Trek has given us. Disco era Trek, yeah. I'm just saying if two guys want to kiss, then kiss. It just makes me uncomfortable. Okay, well. I want to say that if I'm not kissing like attractive people, that makes me uncomfortable. I should be the one kissing attractive people. She just wrote some different stories. Just started watching Star Trek: The Original Series. It was way better than I thought. Love the scene where Kirk tells Charlie to stop being a creep. The original series is honestly the one I like the least, if I'm being honest with you guys. Laura's girls made some SCP. What? Really? Yeah, they did. I don't want to get involved in I don't think. Okay, so I'm gonna say this, and then let's stop having the conversation, Maisie and Pete. If something makes you uncomfortable, it doesn't necessarily make you hate or a bigot against that thing. I think that's an overreaction. I think how you respond to it and what your thoughts are after that is what makes you that. Kissing is gross in general. Can we just go back to sexual assault? I mean, we could, I guess. That's an interesting way. Tosses a few good episodes modeled after some good old war flick. No! No. So, Pimpin' ain't horrible name, sir. No, listen. Star Trek was completely original, good sir. The only thing that copies other stuff is Star Trek Discovery. No, I'm sorry, Star Trek Picard towards the end of it. And it is horrific. It is absolutely horrific, sir. It is bad. You can't copy or take any kind of inspiration from something else. You can't do it, sir. You can't do it. Seeing a lot of SCPs inspired by Lovecraftian horror, I would say if your kids can handle SCP, then they'd be okay. She's not done anything that's too horrible, I think. Lore assumes that butt slaps aren't allowed. They are welcome. They are welcome, sir. But just because they're welcome doesn't make them not forms of assault. Yeah. That doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to stand by it. Do the streaming things. What streaming things am I doing? What do you want me to stream exactly? I'm streaming right now. We're talking about whatever we want to talk. I even have someone who's text messaging me answers instead of actually putting the comments in here. I'm going to do a video essay for pop culture studies about Star Trek, particularly its effects in the real world. Well, that'd be cool, Daniel. But Laura, your entire show is just a rip-off of Knight Rider. It is. It's true. Is that? Isn't that the car? Or is that what I'm thinking of when I say Knight Rider? Or is that like someone else? Any thoughts on the rumored new Stargate? I'm watching the old Stargate. I don't know much about the new one. I would need more information on it. You want my phone number? Sure. Give me a second. My phone number is 202 456 1111. I also have a backup number that I use for actually my business. That's 202 456 1414. Controversial opinion, the sequel trilogy is my favorite part of Star Wars. Well, that just makes you a bad person, Daniel. That's all that does. I don't think it'll be an actual movie. It'll be a short trek, is what it'll be. No, but that's what I should have done with Snowball. Instead of what I actually did. Okay, you're right. You guys are right. Hold on. Let me give you my actual real number. You are completely right. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Let me get you one that's actually good. And I apologize. I really shouldn't have done that. My actual number is 833. Hold on, let me double check it on my phone. It's 833 354 1056. That's my actual number. 833-354-1056. How much you want to bet the musical will build up to Q being in Picard? I don't think they're going to combine that. I hope they don't. That would be very bad. 867. I called it a woman answer. Oh, that's. You should ask for me. Definitely ask for me. Be like, hey, is Lore Reloaded there? So, yeah, so a woman may answer, because I actually have a friend over. So just be like, hey, is Lore Reloaded there? And she'll know exactly what you're talking about. So definitely call that. Again, I'll even do it live. So if you guys call this number, I'll talk to you live on the phone while everyone's here. 833-354-1056. The only thing I like about 7, 8, and 9 is the BB-8 and the T-70 X-Wing. I like a lot of the new ships in Star Wars, personally. Picard Season 1 was better than Discovery Season 1. That is a very, very low metric. Put some shootin' hombre. Well, I mean, a lot of the songs I like, I misunderstood what the actual words are. Calling into the Lore Reloaded radio show. Call it live. Look, I'll prove it's my number, okay? Watch. This'll should give... Watch.
Welcome to Live Links. For English, press 1.
See? That's exactly me. I expected it actually to be a lot worse than what just came up. What, someone was asking about Jesse Gender and Council of Geeks. What did I miss? Honestly, it'd be awesome to do a Trek call-in show. Yeah, but people have to have good connections and stuff. I've tried that. It's just, it doesn't work. What's my favorite storyline of Stargate? So far, my favorite one is actually a one-off. I forget what it's called, but it's where they come upon the crystals. It was a season 1 episode. I think a season 1 episode. They come upon the crystals, and the crystals are actually live or whatever, and they accidentally hurt the main character. I forget his name. The soldier guy. And the crystal, like, tries to get his son back. And tries to bring his son back because his son was killed or whatever. And he can't because he didn't understand that his son passed away, because it doesn't work the same way for the crystals. Like, they don't, once you're gone as a human, but it doesn't work that way for the crystals. Jack, yeah. And so what he does is he turns into Jack's son just so Jack can say goodbye. I really like that. Lord's trying to get you to dial a prayer, but you need Jesus in your life. Oh, man. Allow me to assure you, the number I gave is probably called by a lot of Christians, but it's not, I assure you, they're not praying. Someone who grew up with a lot more inclusive shows like Steven Universe, Adventure Time. I can't tell you how important representation is. Jesus Christ, you grew up with Steven Universe. Steven Universe release date. Jesus Christ, May 21, 2023. Get the hell out of it. My God, can you even like drink yet? Jesus, young people annoy me. I don't like young people. Let's see, 80, 90, yeah, that's fucking stupid. Yeah, you can't even drink yet. Ugh. Wow. Hey, Laura, when you have the screen on your left turned on, the lighting on your face is much better. It is turned on. It's just not white. I tell you what, I actually am going to improve this, but let me tell you this. If you would like to, at this current moment, wait for it. If you want to super chat me, $48.99, I will right now order lighting that goes right there. The Hall & Oates emergency line. They don't say anything that would get me banned off of YouTube, do they? Dude, wait till you're 36. You want to turn old, wait till 36. I'm you're so old. You probably think it's about you. You're so old. No one just donated $49.99. Legend. No one attacked and killed him. No one is now the new hero. The big boss has been defeated, lads. The big boss has been defeated. I actually already have a light. I mean, I was going to buy it right there because it's one specialized for a light, but I'll put it there. Thanks for supporting the channel. By the way, guys, it is the only way that I can keep the lights on and things is through generous donations. What? I think I literally had an aneurysm right in front of you people. Through generous donations from people like you. Thank you so much. I am going to actually, you're going to be seeing a lot of changes here. I've kind of told you guys that I want to start doing live streaming like every day, and part of that is increasing this. I've been fine. How you been doing, Lewis? Gender donations? I don't understand. What? What are we talking about? I'm not aggressively whispering into the mic yet. Daniel Dixon, you want to say anything before you're given a 300-second timeout for being too young? I'll allow you to do that. I was in high school when 9/11 happened. I remember, I was in school too. I remember in high school I was not related at all to what we were talking about, but I was walking across the cafeteria and the TVs were on. And I thought that was really weird because the TVs aren't on in the cafeteria. Generally not. I don't know that I ever remember them being on except for that instance. Why they'd have TVs in the cafeteria. Tube TVs. And so then I walked to my social studies class and there's a TV in there. And then I learned that it had happened. When I have white on my screen, the lighting on my face looks so much better. That's racist. Oh, gender donation, yeah. Well, maybe it is a gender donation. I don't know. The donation can be whatever gender it wishes to be. I think it's no, I don't think that's white balance. That's definitely a light issue. I don't think it's white balance at all. Well, I'll tell you this, though. That light right there is really cold. No, actually, no. It's not cold. It's that light right there is throwing off a yellow tint, so I'd say it's pretty warm, actually. I've been saying that wrong. It's also indirect. It's hitting me from the side. Like, it's not even good for three-point lighting. This is orange, of course. And then the wall that it's reflecting off is kind of like a teal or whatever. Do I think my skin is racist? I mean, maybe. I guess. I don't know. I've never talked to my skin. See, look, if I white balance it, because let's play with the white balance. I don't think that'll really fix anything. Am I joking when I say it's racist for having white on your screen to make your face more illuminated? Because I make those jokes myself, but I'm never sure if someone else is joking. Alright, guys, so if you think that I'm serious when I say someone telling me that putting white on my screen is racist, if you think that I'm being serious, I want you to put 1 in the chat. If you don't think I'm being serious, you put 2 in the chat. And let's find out based on caveat. Talk to you later, Ryan. Thanks for coming by, buddy. If I'm racist or not. Turn that off. Yeah, see, look, when you adjust the white balance, it doesn't really help. Why is it putting me right there? What the hell? I am super serial, you're right. This card. Now I look like a cherry tomato. I live in a trailer. You called me out. It actually is. It is a trailer. Yep. Well, Maisie, I honestly need 3 lights. I need 1 light in front of me. I need 1 light. It's not going to be able to put it there. So if I'm going to have to do this, I'm going to have to do this reverse. I'm going to put a light, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a light right there. I'm going to put a light right there, and then I'm going to have a reverse light all the way up right there coming down. Probably behind me, though, I'm going to green screen the living hell out of this. I think we all have racist tendencies from our tribal ancestry, but we're all capable of rising above. I'd agree with that. Why wouldn't I support the true president? I'm looking forward to his overthrow of Biden, personally. I need a ring light. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to put 2 ring. I'm getting 2 ring lights. I'll probably have a ring light there. Well, no. I'll probably have a ring light here. A normal light there. Probably an LED newer. And probably a newer one right there, too. But I'll probably actually have to mount it, like, right here. Because there's going to be a green screen behind me. So I'm going to have to mount it right there. I'm good at mounting things. Why would I wear a green shirt? Yeah, I mean, lighting is a science. It's honestly, you'd be so surprised how much lighting goes into actual movies. Like, people make bank doing thousands of lights. Are you okay? What are you doing? Hey, Alex. Hey, what are you doing? What do you find interesting over there? What's going on? You used to live in a shoebox in the middle of the road? I used to live in Darwin, Australia. It was weird living in a place that seems so much destruction. Huh. No, that's my dog, not my cat. Alright, go. Go do something else. I thought he was talking to my car for a second. He was just losing his shit. Man, I have talked to things. I talk to my animals. Why wouldn't I? Lore for Prez 2024. Yeah. I'm about to go to sleep. I'm so tired, guys. Oh, my God. You don't even know. Don't even know. I wish D's had not dropped out of... What are you talking about? Oh, okay, that's an actual person. If you were going to pitch a new big Star Trek war story to Kurtzman, how would it go? I don't want to pitch a war story to Kurtzman. I don't want another war. I would try to pitch letting me do Reconstruction. Do Federation Reconstruction. So maybe 2 or 3 years before Picard. Have a good night, Daniel. Thanks for coming by. I was a huge fan of Tulsi, too. Tulsi Gabbard or whatever herself. Tulsi, what is it? Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard. That's who I think it is. Maybe not. She was the one that sued Clinton, right? Yeah, she sued Clinton. And in it, she said, I have been to... She sued Clinton, and she's like, I've been to a counselor, and it is unlikely I'd kill myself. Yeah, I like Gabbard. We had to wash our hands because of the high school lead content. That's special. I fix people's broken things for a living. I spend my entire day talking to or cursing at inanimate objects. Do you, is it like mechanical, or is it like, electronics? By the way, pimpin', and it's not going to be by me or anyone in this channel, I'm sure, but just so you know, I hope you're not tied to that, that name, because I'm pretty sure they're going to ban that at some point. Oh, I cannot stand Cruz. He is not an honest person. I don't like Cruz at all. Is there still room for exploring in Trek? Are there still unexplored areas? In theory, there are. I mean, there's still unexplored in some of the Alpha and Beta, and Delta and Gamma. I don't know that you could write good stories about it, to be honest. You work at a place that makes and sells $1,000 knives. Wow. Lord, do you think Christian Bale could play a captain in Starfleet? Probably. So can we assume this show is at least 22 EDT every weekday? Not necessarily. I did an earlier show today. I can tell you that I'm trying to do it earlier for you guys. Generally what works for me is like 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, so whenever that is. But I try to do a couple of earlier shows too. I would love to make live streaming something that is a staple that I could do for, quite a few hours, so that we could just sit here and talk, or I can play games or something. I have to make it make sense financially, and I have to be able to do the video uploads, because that is where the bulk of the entertainment comes from. But later in the evening CST works best for me. Talk to you later, Pete. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Trump for Trek security officer? I like it. I think it makes sense. Exploration shouldn't be dead in Trek. The universe warp speed is only allowed for the discovery of a small percentage of the universe. Maybe. To be honest, I'm trying to keep my political views to myself. I've heard stories where someone said something 10 years ago on Twitter and they lose their job and get their life ruined. That is true. I would not suggest talking about that in the future. I think that's actually wise. That's what I tell my kids to do. Like, they're not allowed to have social media. But when we get to that point, man... I am going to make sure they don't. I'm going to tell them to look at their darkest day. I got a dash, y'all. I'm really glad I managed to catch you today. Well, I'm glad you managed to catch me too, Andy. Andy, you can catch me anytime you want, bae. Anytime you want. Typical teen, I realize how the internet makes you feel, but I don't think that's true. I've already accepted that I'm only being accepting conservative call. I think universities of all stripes. I don't think it's as bad as Twitter lets you believe. There'll always be those elements in it. I mean, I went to Full Sail University, and that's a liberal arts university. So, on that note, I'm thinking about getting a master's. I don't know that I'm going to, but I'm thinking about it. Typical teens probably canceled. I'm working on a sci-fi superhero show concept. You got a ton of concepts, Daniel. You got a lot. You want to be the next Daniel Dixon. What, and if you don't want to say it, you don't have to, but what university are you going to? What school? Like, one of the things that I have to accept is that if I ever wanted to run for political office, which I don't think I ever will, but if I ever wanted to, there's so much stuff against me that I'm just going to have to eat. Like that stupid-ass video that people pay, even though it's a video of me, to watch on another channel. That would come out where I go down the streets of Portland pretending to be a prostitute. JMC Academy in Australia. Oh, that's cool. Cancel culture is dumb. It's existed forever, though. It's existed ever since, like, since I was born. And before. The trolling that I've done alone would probably kill my potential That's true, too. Yeah, I've said a lot of stupid stuff. I just don't care. I really honestly accept Picard's statement. Like, if I'm going to be damned, I'm going to be damned for who I am. Cancel culture is literally the reason we have freedom of the press. Sure. I need to get a BS in mechanical engineering, trying to decide where now. Oh, that's cool, no one. I was thinking of getting a master's in PR. I don't know, in public relations. I think I just have an addiction to school, to college, and a fear that I can't use the, like, several degrees I have now to be successful. Even though I am, like, I'm not like drowning in money or anything, but I am successful, you know? I don't know. Alright, guys. I think we're going to end it there. I want to thank so much everyone for coming by. I'm trying to do these longer, and I'm trying to be more diverse in the conversation. As always, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, guys. I'm going to see you on the next. On the very next